Good afternoon. Welcome to Saying It. Soni Irabor Live. Well, there's a program that usually precedes, Soni Irabor Live, and it's called Saying It with Music. So I always mix them up, and it's the same hosting by me, Well, anyway, I have a very special guest. He's a royal prince. He's based in the United States of America, but I decided to bring him in because he's written a book that tickled my fancy. And I'm still reading the book, and I must let you know it's a beautiful book. Let me just quickly give a bit of... should I read it? Okay, this. The history of an African community. The history of Onicholona Kingdom. Now, this is the third volume of the history of Onicholona Kingdom. A kingdom of Benin warriors, farmers, hunters, intellectuals, politicians, craftsmen, and women with high religious and rich cultural values. This is also about their wars, settlements, formations, the rise of their kingdom, and subsequent leadership tussles. This volume 3 incorporates the content of volume 1 and 2 in addition to a new section, which is section 4, which it has been recommended that I should read so I get a pre-colonial concept of it all, which British colonial era, and of course which focuses on the events from late in 1100 AD to the British colonial era and the present day communities in the eastern expanse of the ancient Benin Empire. Volume 3 also contains updates to noticed incomplete lines, as well as additional information to sections 1, 2, and 3 and of volumes 1 and 2. This is volume 3 that we're about to talk about now. And Prince Ephraim Odiakosa, who is the author, Ephraim Odiakosa Nwabuokei, is the author of this book. And I don't know what inspired him, but he's a prince. So there must be a lot of reasons behind it. But the one that I've given to you right now, because he's in the studio, is in the Zoom chambers with me, and I'm going to talk to him very shortly. Prince, can you hear me? How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm glad that we can hear you, because I was beginning to wonder. Said, lie, not after I have prayed specially for this one. So anyway, how are you? Where are you in the U.S. today?
Yeah, US is good. Sometimes technology can be a problem since it's cross-border. Sometimes these connections can be a problem.
Yeah, I know. Now we can see your camera. Oh, wow. I love your regalia. Oh, boy, you look really good. If I had known, I would have worn my,
Thank you.
So, thank you so much for obliging us. You were recently in Lagos and Benin, and I don't know if you got as far as Onicholona, your village, your community. But can you just, for example, tell me what inspired you into writing this story? Is it that to correct anomalies, or what was it?
Yeah, hold on a bit. Just give me 1 minute.
Okay. Right, you're listening to Soni Irabor Live, and we have Prince Ephraim Nwabuokei, who is the author of the book we're about to unravel in this program. And his rights representative said he's just needed to put himself together. But this history of an African community, Ephraim, which is the history of Onicholona Kingdom, is an offshoot, or should I say offshoot, of the Benin Empire. Now, sounds, because I'm from Benin, it sounds like, oh, this one you don't do your kwarakwa. But of course, no. I think it's because the fascination is the way he wrote the book and the stories behind it, and the fact that in 1897, the British colonialists came and, of course, invaded Benin Empire. But believe it or not, in 1800, they had invaded Onicholona and done same. So apparently they'd gone on this kind of conquering expedition around the west coast and the southern regions, southern protectorate of Nigeria. They eventually, called it Nigeria today, but it wasn't called Nigeria then. It was Northern Protectorate and Southern Protectorate. Well, anyway, While we're waiting for Prince Ephraim to join us, I just want us to understand that this is a story that requires unraveling, and that's why we are here to it. So please listen in. I'll join you very shortly. Yes, Prince, how are you? Are you back?
Yes, I'm back. Thank you.
Okay, good. Now, what inspired your determination to write this book? Not just decision, but determination.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Irabor, for the opportunity to be on your studio today.
Thank you.
First thing first, I love to give, let's give honor and glory and praise to God Almighty.
Amen.
For the day that He has made. Let's give honor to our ancestors through whom we came into being by the grace of God.
Okay.
And let's give due respect to all that hold power and to those that hold power over us. And let's give honor and due respect to His Royal Majesty Omanobanedo Kwakolopo Obaiware II. Oba Adokbae.
You say.
I give honor and respect to my people of Onicholana, both sons and daughters of Onicholana. I give due respect to the royal family, and I give due respect to all royal families in Anioma in Delta State.
Okay.
All protocols observed.
Nigerian problem, all protocol observed. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you.
So coming to the question of, go ahead.
Yeah, no, please go ahead. I was listening to you. Please.
Yeah, coming to the question of the book, The History of Onicholana, and what motivated me to write it, is simple. That's the history of Onicholana, the history of an African community.
Yes.
A homeoto of Onicholana. So, you know, if we don't tell our history, if we don't tell our story, nobody's going to tell it for us. And it's been quite a while. Onicholana has been silent over many things. And our history seems to have been misconstrued, misinterpreted, or mistold in a way that is distorted in nature. Claims have been made in the past, unrefuted. But if we keep quiet the more, as we say in our place, then when abomination gets a bad day, it becomes a tradition.
Okay.
Okay. For that reason, there is need for the story and the history of Onicholana to be properly told, as it is handed down by our ancestors, who knew how they got to where they are from where they left. And the things that happened ever after. That is why that book is written. Now, Onicholana has become, for some years now, a sleepy Midwestern town that seemed not to be well known as it were in the past. Before the 1900s, Onicholana was a boiling pot, a center of attraction, a name in the tongue of people, just as it were Benin, because Benin gave birth to Onicholana, and the tie between Onicholana and Benin remained very intact until 1900, when things went south. Went south, not between Onicholana and Benin, but by the interference of the British invaders.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, having cut Onicholana off from the leadership of the ancient kingdom, it appeared that the existence, the potency, and the impact of Onicholana was muted. The place of Olona was displaced, and some of that reconstituted quote and unquote authorities were put in place. So changes and narrations started creeping into our history, and people started narrating it the way they chose, based on the strategic intent of the British mission in cahoots with those that connived with them on ground. Now, writing this history is now to unmask the true identity of the Onicholona people, their origin, who they are, what happened, and what is at the moment.
Okay.
Going back to the ancient time, Onicholona people have been around for quite centuries, but it became the headquarters of an ancient kingdom called Ephraim in 1550 AD.
Wow.
But before that time, what brought Onicholona people to where they settled is the war against one of the chiefs or enoges that was installed by Obayeware I.
Okay.
How did this happen? But in reference to the book, if you go through it in sequence, you find that the book dates back to late 1100 AD.
Yes.
In reference.
1147 precisely, yes.
Now, if we go through that, you find out that Benin people have been in existence in the place we call Onicholona, dating back to far long ago.
Okay.
Even in Onicholona today, there are sites that are sacred. Most people did not know, only a few know. The retreat house of someone like Nwabuokei is still in Onicholona today. That retreat house, think of Nwabuokei when he reigned, 1200. The retreat house he built in the Eastern Expanse is still in Onicholona today. Well, the site, not the actual house, the site, because the house has undergone transformation from the time it was built to the time that the British arrived. When the British arrived, they converted it into a missionary school. From that missionary school, the site is now being used as customary court. Now, going back to the history, how did our people live?
Yes.
It came a time during the time of Obayeware the Great, the first.
Yes.
Where, as he was expanding the empire, capturing towns and villages, and making them subjects, the leaders subject to him, some kingdoms and communities that were in existence did not take it kindly, and some were agitated that they may be the next to be captured and annexed. A native doctor from the East, by name, according to history, not according to me, is a Chima.
Okay.
He was Chima by name before he became Eze Chima. It was Iwere that made him Eze, by the way. He was Chima, a native doctor from the East, according to history. He was very good in his work as a native doctor and a mystics. Yeah, a physician in the sense of our native practices. So he, according to history, volunteered to go and do the work of stopping Obayeware. But this was unknown to our people, to Iware and the Benin chiefs. He came into the Igoromigodo, that's ancient Edo, Sukubini territory.
Yes.
And started performing his duty, his work. Of course, like our people say, that someone owns the land that the native doctor beat his drum. Yeah. He had to announce himself and his presence, knowing full well that Obayeware doesn't joke with strong, powerful native doctors. So that was his angle. And then when the news of his proficiency reached Iware the Great, he was summoned to the palace, according to the history, and he did his work, performed effectively, and Iware admired his proficiency, retained him, and he started working as a personal physician and a native doctor for Oba Iware.
In the palace?
His work over in the palace.
Yes, okay.
His work over the year pleased him to the point when Oba Iware needed to appoint some enigies or administrators over different communities that do not speak Bini.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
Iware found him suitable to preside over some of the Igbo communities that were in the domain. So, as history has it, there were 4 Enogies in our Benin dialect or Ezes in Igbo dialect who were installed the same day by Oba Iware the First. Their names: 1, Ihimi of Irua.
Okay.
2, Chima was appointed to Eka region,
where Agbo is as well.
Where Agbo is.
Mm-hmm.
Emu was appointed to Ubolo region.
Okay.
That's where the Ubuluku and Ubulon and the rest of them.
Yes.
Currently. While Alo was appointed to the region that is now called Owash.
Okay.
So these 3 great men were appointed in the service of the people on behalf of Oba Iware the Great, because they could understand their people better, and so they would be able to be an interface between the Igbos, some of the Ishans, as you can see, Ikimi there.
Ikimi, yes.
To administer them properly. So, now having settled, when these people were installed, Chima himself, becoming a new Eze now, or Enogie, also find favor in the eyes of the king. He gave him one of his daughters.
Okay.
Okay. Our history records her as Uvi. Uvbi.
Yes, Uvi.
She was the younger sister to Edeleyo or Edeleyo, depending on how you pronounce it.
Go ahead, Edeleyo.
The first daughter.
Yes.
The first daughter of Oba Iware the First.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, her feeling comfortable now, he has been made a chief. The king trusts him so much. They were friends. By virtue of that, he's made a chief, an Enogie, and he has now one of the Oba's daughters for a wife. He felt settled. It was time for him to execute his mission, according to the history.
Mm-hmm.
Then he instigated his wife, Uvi, to help him kill her father.
No kidding.
Yep. So when that happened, as everyone can expect, the woman was put in a very tight corner. She has to choose between the love of a father and the love of a husband.
Wow.
In the end, she made the right choice. She refused to kill her father.
Mm-hmm.
In order to cover the plot, her husband killed her.
Ooh.
With that, you can think of what follows.
Of course, the father would
warriors were.
Yes.
Yep. Warriors were sent to go after Chima. Those warriors now left, pursuing Chima and his people, and he started running. Notable members of that war group that left Benin, among which Iken, the warlord of Uselu,
Mm-hmm.
Iken, I-K-E-N.
Yes.
He himself, his son, Emopai,
Mm-hmm.
Omi,
Mm.
and a host of others, Lomona, just a great number of Benin warriors that were in operation at that time. They joined and they started pursuing Chima. When they got to, on the way, as the history has it, when they got to Umunede, they met, first of all, when they got to where we call Agbo now, okay, the Odionwe that was there, they asked him of the whereabouts of Chima.
Okay.
And he made it clear to them that what he learned, Chima has already run, which is some of his supporters. The Odionwe now pointed them in the direction to where his residence was. And they moved. Going to that direction, they come to where we call Umunede and met a hunter whose name was said to be Uba. They asked about Chima and his people and how they can get to where Chima's residence was. He pointed to it and told them that he heard that Chima has already run in towards Ogidieze, or what we call, so the word originally was Ogidieze. The name Ahaba, as the reference to the river, was not mentioned until our people met one of the Igbos by the river, by the way, by name Igbokwe.
Okay. Are you referring to
the Igbos?
Are you referring to Asaba now?
Yeah, we'll get there, but okay. I'm making reference to where the man in Umunede made reference, the river, the name of the river he mentioned, which is what our people used to call it, was Ogidieze.
Okay. Yes.
So before they called it Ahaba.
Okay,
it was originally known as Ogidieze. Okay, now when he told them the direction Chima was headed, they asked him to lead the way and show them the direction. And so he joined our warriors as well and started leading the way. They got to Obio, which is his residence, and they met his first daughter, who was a granddaughter to Obaiwari, and the brother, who was also a grandson to Obaiwari. The operation was not to harm any of the children of Iwari, but to retrieve the staff that Ezechima was installed with and depose him. So when they got to where we call Obio and inquired of Ezechima, the daughter and the son that was kept to watch over her mentioned that their father has run with his people. One, Obio could not follow according to the history because she was pregnant.
Okay.
His younger brother, was kept to look after her while the rest left. That his younger brother's name, according to history, is Ukpale.
Ukpale.
A-K, yes, A-L-I.
Okay.
Why her name was said to be Obio, O-V-B-I-O. That O is pronounced as O.
Obio.
Obio, yep.
Yes, okay.
Which is another word that is equivalent to the Igbo word Ada.
Oh, okay. And that which is the first daughter of a family, right?
First daughter, yes. Okay. So the Benin version of that is Obio.
Obio, okay.
which is an abbreviation from Nwabuokei.
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 Okay.
Daughter, right?
Yes. Oh, well, daughter will be... Now, I have to think that correctly because I'll be in trouble if I get it wrong.
Okay, yeah.
Nwabuokei.
Nwabuokei, yeah, that's what I mean.
Yes,
So
yes.
with dialectal differences may creep into making it not sound the way it's not.
Naturally, yes.
So now that OVBIO, or we pronounce as O, is the equivalent translation to what the Igbos will say that the first daughter.
Okay.
Okay, and that name, according to our ancestors, our forefathers, was given to her by her own mother, the Benin wife of Ezechima.
That's Uvi that was later killed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, when they met the two grandsons of Iwari, take note, the town of Ovio are connected biologically by maternity to the Benin royal family.
Okay.
Because they are descendants.
Yes.
They are descendants of Uvi, the daughter of Oba Iwari.
Yes. Iwari the first.
Iwari the first. Yes. When they informed our warriors that their father has already left with his supporters and warriors, they now started following the track and chasing them. They got to a place where they found a farm hut with some fire in it. Fresh fire in the farm hut. They felt, as they were informed, that Oheze, the first son of Chima, owned a farm in that area. So our warriors set ambush on that farm hut and the farm, hoping that Oheze or his father, Ezechima, might come back there to get some food. Okay, so those warriors that occupied there, not knowing, were actually occupying the farm of Ubolo people, not that of Ezechima and his son.
Okay.
Okay. Then, later, the Ubolo people came to farm and realized that Benin warriors have occupied their farm. They went back home to report to Ezemu.
Prepare him to escape.
The other Eze, who Iwari installed the same day with Chima, okay, where they informed him that the Benin warriors were in their farm. He cautioned them to back away from Benin warriors.
Wow.
Okay, because he was not ready to go to war with Iwari's warriors. Okay, and our history records it well, that war was well helped with the fact that Ezemu did not join forces with Ezechima, even if at first he was, when Ezechima instigated this revolt against Iwari, he was initially in alliance with Ezechima, but he himself later withdrew from it, according to history.
Okay.
Okay. So that place where that farm where the warriors encamped at was later named Ihomioto Ugbo.
Okay, Ugbo is like a farmland. Ihomioto will mean, yes, Ihomioto in Benin will mean something like I conquered this ground. Okay, yes. Ihomioto, okay.
That's they occupied the farm, they captured the farm land. Okay?
Yes.
Then the rest of the warriors, having put some warriors to ambush that place and take care of it, the rest of the warriors moved on following the trail of Chima and his entourage until they got to a place today, which we call on a Choko today, that is where they found Shema. He was very old and could not run further.
Okay.
So he handed his staff, the scepter or the offer in Igbo language, into to his first son or Hazel, and asked him to run with it with the rest of his supporters and followers, while he himself took a place to hide. There, he was kept in company with one of his daughters by name Eze Chimere.
Eze Chimere.
Oh, sorry, Eze Chimere.
Eze Chimere. Okay. Eze, that would be the feminine version of it, right?
Yeah, Eze Chimere. That is a feminine name. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Good God did by interpretation if we go by the meaning of that word.
Okay. Eze Chimere.
Eze Chimere. Okay. That was the name of that daughter of Chima who was in attendance to him where he was hiding when our warriors met him.
Okay.
So when they now captured him there, they ordered him to, he started first of all pleading that they should, even if they want to kill him, they should not do harm to any of his children. And they made it clear to him that nobody is going to harm any blood of Iwari. However, he needs to surrender himself and become a subject, surrender himself to the authority of Iwari, or he will be killed. He gave up, surrendered. Then they kept a few warriors to watch over him in case he decides to start acting up. One of the warriors who were kept to watch over him alongside another Igbo native doctor that was serving up by Iwari the same time with Chima, where the Igbo native doctor's name was called Anagba.
Anagba, okay.
Anagba, yes. While another prominent Benin warrior that was equally kept there was Obosa.
Obosa, okay. Obosa, yes.
The husband, take note of this, the husband of Edeleyo, the first daughter of Iwari.
Oh, okay. This is interesting.
That Obosa, as at that time, had a title, a chieftaincy title, which is Osi Egwa.
Osi Egwa.
He was the Osi Egwa at that time, friend of the palace, if we interpret it.
Osegwai. Okay, that's how the Beninese will say it. Okay, yes. I like your attempts. Very interesting. Yes, go on.
Okay. Now, so Obosa and some other warriors, as well as Anaba, the Igbo native doctor as well, were put there. Anaba was strategically put there because both of them are from the east, and he understands their mystical measures more, with the intent that if Chima wants to start performing his wonders, that Anaba should be able to counter, because Anaba was still loyal to Iwari, not to Chima. Okay. So these people now stayed there, and that location was later renamed Ihomioto Eko.
And that is where Onicholo community grew into a robust community, right?
We are still on track. Okay. We are now pitching our warriors are now pitching their tent one after the other now.
Okay.
So remember, they pitched their tents to protect Ovio and Ukbale, the grandchildren of in the place we call Ovio now.
Yes.
Okay. Some warriors left there to protect those children. Remember, we've gotten to Ihomioto Ugbo. Some Benin warriors has been put there.
Okay.
Then now, where he was hiding, his hiding place, Epo, they captured it and they still named the place Ihomioto Epo.
Okay.
Captured hiding place of Chima. Okay. Now, With Anaba being there, Anaba fell in love with Ezichimere, this daughter of Chima. As time went on, while they settled there, Anaba went to where there is a place he usually go to get his herbs to make medicine. He went and pitched a tent there, and then settled with his wife, Ezichimere, and then a new tent or settlement was established, which is where we call Abumpa Anaba, today called Abumpa Anaba, which is today called Obompa.
Okay. I'm just plotting the map. I'm following the map slowly as you're telling the story. Yes, go ahead.
All right. Now, the rest of the warriors followed the trail of Oheze, now no longer Chima because they captured Chima. They followed the trail of Oheze, the grandson of Iwari, the first son of Chima.
Chima, yes.
Because he was holding the staff of his father that was given to his father, which they need to retrieve as a measure of deposing Chima.
Yes.
Now, as they say, Chima did not fail to be Chima. He did something that made the warriors, rather than follow the trail of the son, they lost track with the trail of the son. Whether
I'm not surprised. Yes, go ahead.
So, rather, the journey that would have been easy for them, they wangled and lost track. And then, until after some period has passed, they got information that they headed in the wrong direction and they have to be redirected.
Wow.
Meanwhile, while Oheze and his father's people, followers and supporters were running, Oheze's wife was also reported, according to history, to have been pregnant at that time. So she went into labor as they were running. So Oheze left two of his people to watch over the wife and gave instruction that if the child is born, they should give the child the name Eziuzo.
Eziuzo.
Good road. That is that wherever that woman put birth to the child should be named. That is a good road that they took also. So eventually the wife put to bed and gave birth to a son, and he was named Eziuzo. That son of Oheze is a man that the town or village of Ezi in Delta State is named after.
Okay.
You see where the tents are being pitched.
Yes.
Our people got there. Ezi is now a great grandchild of Iwari. He needs to be protected. Some warriors were kept to protect him and the mother. And then the warriors moved up until they got to where we call Oncholana today. When they got to where we call Oncholana today, because they have lost trail of Oheze and his father's followers, our people camped under one Ubaka tree. That's a castor oil tree, that big tree that's so they camped under it. If I'm getting the name of that tree properly, it's castor oil or castor oil bean tree. They camped under the big tree and started strategizing on how to retrace their trip and step and track to get to Oheze and the people. While they were there, Oba Iwari sent one of the Igabanobes another chief.
Yes.
Called Udubami. Some say Udubami. Some pronounce it as Udubami. Some pronounce it as Idubami.
Okay.
So, understanding time and dialectal variation, this may not be pronounced the way Benin should have pronounced.
Yes. Yes.
So, he himself was equally a strong medical, traditional medical person, like native doctor.
Yes. Like Chima.
So when he came to clear the path, whatever confusion or whatever hypnotism that was cast over, whatever spell that was cast over the warriors that may have made them lose track, he now came to dispel that spell. Okay, so when he came, he met our people at that Opaka tree. There were Igbo people from Nri who were also living in that area as at that time. Okay. So to get to know how and where Oheze passed and where they went, they needed to penetrate those Igbo small communities to know how to get to him. And on one occasion, the sister of the two princes that later joined the war, her name was Olo. And one of the daughters of Udubami was her best friend, who was also in her service accompanying them in that war. So what they now did was, they knew that if they sent warriors to go and get fire from those Igbo people, it will rattle them. So in order not to set off unnecessary alarm, they had to send an innocent, harmless person, while they staged some warriors in the bush in case any harm is to have come upon her. That daughter was said to be Aduwere.
Okay, Aduwere.
Aduwere. That's the daughter of Udubami.
Okay, Aduwere.
Okay. Again, the pronunciation may not be exactly the way the Benin people will pronounce it.
No, you see why I'm a bit. I'm sure you saw my face moving. Aduware is one, but Aduwere, Aduwere. I know Aduware.
I think it should be Aduware.
Okay.
Again, like I said, dialectal
as
variation.
You move away from the center, yes, the language changes. Yeah. Right. You're very right.
Yeah. Some people call it three-factor theory of language variation.
Yes.
So now that daughter was sent to go and get the fire, while her brothers and some other warriors were pitched in the forest in case any attack comes on her, so they can rescue her. So she approached a farm hut of the Igbos in the bush and to get the fire, and she got the fire successfully and brought it back, and they used that fire to make their food under the Upaka tree. Okay.
We have less than 5 minutes more to conclude your story, so that we want to. You see, we've almost spent an hour, but the beauty of it is I've been following the trail, and those who are listening have also been, especially from the Delta, Edo Delta area, will also follow the trail as you have, as you have presented this. I want you to land. You already established where on the Cholono was where they later settled.
Yes.
But it was
so the warriors now.
Yes, go on.
Yeah, the warriors settled under that tree that gave them shade. And after they got the fire, because they were now eavesdropping on the Igbos trying to get into their midst to find out if there could be a hint on where Oheze and the rest of his father were. And equally, the Igbos were equally inquiring among themselves if any of them knew the whereabouts of Eze
Chima. Eze, what was the other name again? Because Eze Chima was already too old, so it was his son that went away with the staff of office.
Oheze.
Oheze,
Oheze is his name.
Okay.
That, by the way, that Oheze is a short word. Oheze Nonambala Chima. That's the full pronunciation of his name.
Heavy one. Okay. Okay.
Okay. But Igbo people will understand what I said now better because that is the language.
Yes.
Okay. Now, eventually, long story short, because of time, they later discovered that Oheze learned of their presence close to where he himself was staying, and then he ran.
Again. Oh, gosh.
Now, as he ran, he headed towards the current, what we call River Niger now, which was referred to in the history as Ogidieze.
Okay. Yes, yes.
Now, when he got there, he met Nwabuokei, the fisherman, by the way. So it was Nwabuokei, according to the history, that gave him the boat that he used to cross the Niger, what we call Niger now, the Ogidieze. So Oheze and some of his supporters were able to cross the Niger before our people get to him.
Okay.
Okay. So the Benin warriors eventually got to that river, met Nwabuokei, and inquired of how to cross the river. And Nwabuokei told them, Hadia Bayaba, meaning you cannot enter the river.
Say that again. Say that again. Hadia
Bayaba.
Hadia Bayaba. Okay.
Yes. So because the language was trained to our people, they could not ask. They wanted to know more what he said. Ahaba.
Okay, that's how Ahaba came about.
Where that name Ahaba came about.
Okay.
That Ahaba was later changed to Asaba.
Well, by the British colonialists, of course.
That's why if you go to Asaba today, you hear people say Asaba or Ahaba Igbo. The Igbo people, the British people could not pronounce Igbo properly. Now what they said Igbo, and that's why people now say Ahaba Igbo instead of Ahaba Igbo.
Okay.
Anyway, so along the line, our people were trying to find a way to cross the river to go and retrieve the stuff they were looking for, until they got to where we call a la today, where they saw a narrow, where they saw a narrow path. So there, they find a path to follow through that place. They were assisted by the Gala fishermen there. They crossed over to the other side. When they eventually cut off with Oheze, and he told them that he abandoned it while he was running for his own.
My goodness. So that means that stuff
now.
Yes. Go on.
Well, so, and what they did again, they put some warriors to protect him. Remember, he is a blood of Iwari. They can't harm him. Okay. So some warriors now settled where he was, where they found him, which is where we call Onishamli today. That place was also named originally Ihomioto Ado Nidu. That Ihomioto Ado Nidu was later changed Onitsha. But the transformation from that Ihomioto Ado Nidu was as a result of that the predominant language in that area was Igbo. So the Ihomioto was changed to Igbo equivalent, which is Onochiane. From that Onochiane, the white man could not pronounce that enough. That was how they ended up with Onitsha.
So that's how Onitsha was formed. Ooh,
that is how the name.
Yes.
That is how the name Onitsha came into being. Now, some of the warriors, when they now came back, pieced there because of the people they took boats from to cross the Niger. Some warriors stayed on the western side as well. Those people are the people they call Ukumagado. Okay. Those Ukumagado later mixed up with those Igala people they took boat from to form where we call a La Nta Nomoka, which is a La for short in Delta State. So the La people are a combination of Igala and Benin people, Ukumagado and Igala people. Now, our people came back, fast forward, to Onicholona, where their camp is, and then settled there, sent report back, and eventually, some of the warriors were also sent to the southern side, where we call Abo and Onichukwani today, right? Now, this is how the Benin warriors eventually settled north, south, east, and west. The ones that settled in the western part of where the war was fought are the people we call Abonta today. Okay. Yeah. And then, so now you see the settlement of the warriors as today, Onicholona, Onichubo, Onichoko, Onichamili, Onichado, or that is Onichado, which is Onichamili, or simply Onitsha. Ela, which is on Ikumagado, so then Onichukwani, which is Onichukwani and Abo, as well as Abonta. This is where the Benin warriors pitched their tent and settled. And those places you see the name Onitsha attached to it, those are the places the name was translated from Ihomioto to Onitsha and then to Onitsha.
Okay.
That is how you got to see that. This is how our people from Benin settled in Anchola.
Somebody has just asked a question, and I think you have provided the answer. I said, please, Soni, is this Onitsha has it any ancestral trace to Onitsha or Igbo ancestry? I can hear some Igbo names, but this day people refuse that there is no Igbo in Benin Kingdom.
Okay, thank you for that question.
Yes.
Onitsha people are not Igbos.
Okay.
By origin. They are Beninese by origin. 95%, or let me give it 90 to 95% of Onitsha people are Benin people.
Okay. I love
when you come to Onitsha, that's the Onitsha Mili, precisely. Onitsha Mili comprises of our Benin warriors, Igbos, and Igala people.
I like another question.
Okay.
They say, where can this book be found? Where can it be got? Your book, is it on Amazon?
The book is on Amazon.
It's on Amazon. Okay.
Yeah.
But and it's okay. Let me read the title again. The history of an African community, Ihomioto. The history of Onicholono Kingdom, by Ephraim Nwabuokei. That is it. Prince, we have less than 2 minutes to go. Less than 1 minute. So I want to thank you and say I must create another opportunity for us to, complete this story properly. But as you said, the book is on Amazon, and I'm going to let the world know about it, because somebody also said here, is it because you are from Benin and you're putting this? I said, no, this is because we want to trace the history the way it has been told by you, especially from Olicholona. Prince, God bless you.
Okay, no, it's not because I am from Benin, it's because my people are from Benin, and that is the history. And if you come to Olona, if you want to know the proof to that, all the quarters in Onicholona, if you come to that, the names of the quarters, which were quarters named after the first people that came there from Benin, they are all Benin names. You can see that.
Thank you so much, sir. God bless you. And as I said, we're going to call on you again. I will send you the recording of that you've just presented today. We'll send it to you tomorrow, okay? God bless you again.
Okay.
All right. It's been Soni Irabor live with Prince Ephraim Nwabuokei, who is the author of The History of an African Community, Ihomioto, The History of Onicholono Kingdom. Thank you very much on Soni Irabor live. As I'm signing off now, it's another, you see, what we now always try to do, we try to change the story, present stories to the best of our ability, even in audio form. And that's what we've done here. Thank you again, and God bless you.
Thank you.